without too many issues.
Or we can have a dream sequence. So we can do things, but Paeden doesn't have to miss any of the plot.
I mean, I'm guessing the majority of the plot is going to be you guys do a lot of walking. Because currently you're out in the land, nowhere near bus.
You tell me.
But
down to like just get that out of the way.
We can use this
walk.
Use this episode for travel time. And then
Use the episode for travel time. If there's something important that happens,
we can skip to past it. And then keep traveling. And then when Paeden gets back, we can do the encounter.
Somebody dies.
Alright, in this half of the session, you're going to have these new items, and Johnny will be dead. But you won't know what happened in the encounter, alright? You're going to have to delete those items from your inventory when Paeden gets back, so we can do the encounter and you can get them, okay?
And maybe Johnny will even survive.
Won't that be a twist? Have you guys seen the anime Steins Gate?
No, but I've heard of it. I
Oh.
don't know.
of the same name, and
Yeah.
I have seen someone play that.
played a
So
significant
basically-
amount of the video game, and I've watched not the whole thing, but I definitely watched a significant amount of the anime.
So, part of the gist of it is the main character sees
The anime and the video game are the
an
same,
event
basically.
happen, and he wants to go back in time and change things, but he can't do it in such a way that what he sees will be any different. So he has to elaborately fake a character's death to be able to have that character be alive without the paradox. So what we have to do is really elaborately make it seem like Johnny is dead.
Well, I guess, long and short, do you guys want to run or not?
I mean, I'm down. I've set aside the time, but I mean, there are only 4 of us, right? So like, I guess it would be significant to have one of us not here.
It is a little rough.
Yeah. One of the 4 is him.
And it'll especially get rough come around at like 9 p.m.
Oh
Where
yeah.
it'll be me and 2 fucking zombies.
How
It'll
dare
be the Jake Show with some backup.
when isn't it? Come on.
Maybe Mo and Johnny and
Yeah. What are you playing right now, Theo?
but I'm honestly just gonna stop when the game started.
You all Well, I was feeling under the weather today, so I actually worked remotely today.
Because everybody's sick?
But I was like, it's okay, I can do D&D.
Yeah, it's a Lumpy, very low-key says Paeden kind of a bitch, though.
No, he's not a bitch. He's just, you know, not nearly as much constitution as I have.
He's just, you know, weak.
He just has worse stats, that's all. That's not his fault. That's sick. We should build that into a D&D encounter. Where you have to dunk yourself for some reason. Hey, let's just do scenario building. I'll
Oh,
score.
give Mitchell free ammo.
Yeah. Like in Nefertiti Overdrive, where we all build the encounters together.
I mean, Nefertiti Overdrive.
Yeah. Game 6.
You know what we should do when we have
Nefertiti Overdrive.
I must have cut
Yeah,
out.
I'm so mad that you guys were letting me say that wrong for like a full month. Like I called that for a full month and no one corrected me until Tuesday. Like why? What's wrong with you guys?
Man, that was totally
I
lost
was
on
not
me. You did
hearing
that?
it if you were saying it for the whole month
Saying
before
Nefertiti
that.
Overdrive the entire time.
I
Ever since I saw
had
it.
no memories, so I was like,
No one corrected me until Tuesday. Like, what do you mean I've been saying it wrong?
You show up, the rest of us are like, yeah, it's Nefertiti Overdrive, and you're just like, wait, what?
oh my god, guys. The Bud Light Twitch channel is streaming Apex Legends.
Oh, good. Why do you know this?
Because it
It's
popped
because he's
up on my
looking at it.
recommended.
Recommended.
I have no idea.
Put
I
that
have,
there.
I have to put in my age to watch it, though, so that's pretty sick.
Yeah, fine.
I wonder what they're doing.
21. No, there's beer here. You can't see it.
This isn't beer, this is a woman with tattoos.
What? The scam.
Bud Light Twitch Rivals After Party.
Nefertiti Overdrive was kinda nuts.
Nefertiti?
I just like summoning the spirits because you have no idea. I had the whole like list of all the Egyptian pharaohs up. I was just ready. That session, the first half was real slow, and then it went real quick. Once people
Hey,
started getting into it, oh my god, I got so lit.
Yeah.
Going nuts.
It definitely...
Fluffy got a little crazy with that. The funniest part about that was you went insane, and then you couldn't finish what you were saying without laughing. They're shooting fire.
And this one has fireballs. No, Lumpy, chill.
I still think of the.
Alright, so
monkey
you
ones.
guys know pitching machines?
Well, that one was just perfect. Yeah, of course that's in there. Why wouldn't it be?
There is, I remember, a trap that someone created kind of like a pitching machine. The thing is, it uses teleportation instead of like individual, like different rocks. So you go and you have the hallway with, of course, a rock rolling down it, and at the bottom of it, you have a teleport ring that teleports the rock back to the top of the hallway. Meaning, the more time goes on, you're messing with this trap, the faster and faster the rock gets. It's basically Portal with freaking giant rolling stones.
I've been wanting to for a long time now. Just make a dungeon where the entire dungeon is just one long hallway, and there's a boulder chasing you the whole time.
Yeah, let's actually
Time
make
limit
that.
dungeon.
Let's actually make that map.
Yeah, because that was like,
It's really easy to make that map.
yeah, well, the map
Yeah.
itself is very easy. How you'd actually run it and what's in it is what the hard part is.
Oh, like, just, you could even put basic stuff. Like, you know, there's that trope in movies where people are walking around the woods and then, like, they put their leg in the rope and it just hoists them up and dangles them there.
That's simple stuff like that would totally work.
You're just dangling from the chandelier while the rock just accelerates.
I've always thought that would be a fun. That's a weird dungeon because it'd be fun, but at the same time, it's like I don't know how I'd run it without it just being you're in combat the whole time. In which case, it'd be kind of a slog.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
can think of
maybe-
a couple of ways you might be able to get away with it, but it would be an odd thing to run.
I mean,
me
you
tell
could
you.
put people in combat and just say, fucking good luck.
Oh wait, Lumpy. Did anyone tell you about what was going on in my section?
In your session?
Yeah, on Tuesday.
No, no one has said a word.
Oh my god, Lumpy. I am so sad you missed it.
Oh, that's
On a
fair.
scale of 1 to 10, it was like an 11 as far as the bangerness went. And it would have been so fucking good for your character as well.
Mhm.
I
As,
would.
Lena nearly like got murdered in front of everybody.
Oh my god, what happened? All right, I need cliff notes at least.
Okay, it's hard to give the just full like summary of. But so you guys were just traveling, and you encountered this like little ruin thing, and there was a little plaque on there that was like, "Ooh, there's a long rest here. Whoever awakens them from the long rest, prepared to be judged. And if they're judged fondly, then they'll get like a reward." And naturally, the party's like, "Well, go for it. That's a challenge. We like challenges." Which, thank you guys for doing that, by the way. I didn't really have much else planned. You would have arrived in the city, and I could have improv some stuff there. But they go in. Well, they open this thing, and it leads down to like just leads down this like pit. And there's this guy that leads them there. It's like this ice warrior thing. And he leads them there, and you guys get to this like icy castle. And in the icy castle, there's a queen. And she's like, "Oh, you came to be judged." So she asks what everyone's desire is. Everyone answered truthfully. Then she's like, "Okay, could I get 2 volunteers for a friendly little challenge?" And so Vec walks up and Lena walks up. And what it does is they step on these little blue circles that lit up when she asked that. It transports them into these cages at the front of the room that everyone can see. And then the queen goes to the entire party not in the cages. "If you guys had to choose to save one of them, who would you pick?" Which, by the way, a little fucked up. Maybe 90% of the party said that.
I figured they would.
Clara refused to answer. She said, "I'd try to kill you." And I assumed your character would say Lena, even though
100%.
So I said, yeah. She said Lena. Because unfortunately, it was the type thing where I couldn't really play your character in this scenario.
But you know how she'd vote.
I know she'd vote, but the next part is the important part. So the queen person was like, Clara, she's like, "You'd be willing to risk your life to try to save both of them?" And it's like, yeah. So she's like, "All right." And she had the ice dude, this little like warrior guy. Hold on, I'll get you. You know what it looks like. Look at me being a good DM, even not in session. Wow. Jake, you're such a good DM. Even not in session. Wow, that's crazy.
Incredible. Oh,
that's
my
crazy.
God.
It was this guy. This guy.
Wow.
Yeah, so he
cool.
walks up and she's like, "If you fight him and beat him, I'll set them both free. But it's like a fight to the death." And she's like, "Anyone who is willing to risk their lives to save both of them can stay in the ring," which ended up being Clara, Deirdre, and Peter. And there was a little like rectangle on the ground that once they stayed in there and everyone else left and confirmed that that's what they wanted to do, I couldn't clear characters there, Lumpy, because that's not a choice I can make. I think that's just something that could very likely get you killed. So I was like, I can't do it. Can't do it. And so this little like wall of like force popped up around there, keeping them in. And so they were fighting it. And Lena's like, they're fighting it, and she's like, "Well, I'm not gonna just sit in this cage." So she would try to use little healing spells, but anytime she tried to use a healing spell to help the people fighting, the queen she had these like icicles that were pointed at the cages, and so she would just spear her with an icicle. Because it was like, if Lena's trying to help, she has to be willing to risk her life anyway. And the first time it did, like, she got icicles, it was like, cast the spell. Which was the heck. But, the fight was going on, and to say it was a close fight would be an understatement. It was, like, ridiculously close. And at some point, Rubexu was like, "Hey, Queen, can I switch places with Lena in the cage?" I'm like, "That sounds fun, sure." So Rubexu then ends up in the cage. You missed one of the funniest things I've ever seen, which was Chase role-playing himself being pissed about which was killing me. And so Rexu ends up in there, and then Lena goes, "Well, I'm gonna try to help him." So she tries to go, like, reach her hand through the wall, and it just goes right through. Because it turns out you can just walk through the barrier, but you can't walk out of it. You can go in and help your friends that are dying in front of you at any time,
But it's
you
all
can't.
can't go
But
out.
you can't leave. So he goes in there, very nearly is like killed because the dude nearly destroyed everybody before the end. At some point there were 4 people in there and 3 of them were unconscious. But you guys were able to beat him. And she gave you some money and then this little shard thingy that she described was one of there's like 9 of them, according to her.
Mm-hmm.
And if you bring them together, then they'll get more and more powerful effects, eventually culminating in like some sort of ridiculous power. Let me tell you, as far as sessions go, oh my god, the drama was great. It was so spectacular. Oh.
That sounds sick.
It was, oh my god, it was amazing. There was a second cool thing that happened in that session that I can't tell you.
It's a secret.
Yes, but it went very well.
We just want to go back down to Cannon Town?
I guess
Cannon
so.
Town. It's not Cannon Town anymore.
Yeah, thank goodness for that.